feel like royalty, we're in the Queen's Court here.
This has started to affect more than just the dress, Your Honor. I mean, we obviously are working drag queens.
Well, some of us are working.
You know, I might look like a helpless little old lady.
Wonderful.
And I'm one of the nicest little old ladies you're ever gonna meet. But if you cross me, I turn into a mean son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'll try to behave myself.
Okay.
This is Judge Jerry Springer. Drag queen Hasta La Vista claims she told her drag sister to take care of the custom-made dress she loaned her. The dress was returned in a garbage bag, just like their friendship. She is suing for $2,500. Defendant Jenna Tall claims the plaintiff had worn the dress multiple times and gave it to her already damaged. She is countersuing for $2,500 after the plaintiff bashed her name in the drag community.
I feel like royalty, we're in the Queen's Court here. Okay, we have Hasta La Vista.
That's me.
That's until I see you again. And Jenna Tall.
Hi.
Hi, I'm sorry, this is small claims court. You have to go to tall claims.
Sorry about it, can't.
Yeah, okay, all right. So you're upset because you loaned her a dress?
I am a professional drag artist and costume designer based out of southern New Jersey.
Yes.
I have been making costumes for myself and other queens for years. I make every single thing myself from scratch, and I put hours upon hours of work, detailing, finishing, and love into all of them.
You're obviously very talented in the dresses that you make.
Thank you.
So that's not an issue here. Okay.
And in this instance, I actually didn't make Jenna a costume, I lent her a costume, and that is where things started to go wrong. So in 2018, I made a gorgeous, fabulous, over-the-top Halloween gown for myself.
Yes.
It was covered in needles, it was all bloody, it looked fabulous.
Your Honor, she's delusional. Everything about her is fake. She's always been jealous of me. This is just another issue,
what about your
stall.
relationship? Forget the dresses right now. What about, you guys have been friends for years? Or?
Yeah,
We were friends for years until this whole thing went down. I simply asked her to borrow a dress. This isn't the first time that we've borrowed each other's clothes.
I did make sure to tell her in text messages, please take very good care of it because I worked very, very hard on this dress. This was one of the most intense dresses I've ever made. I spent hours upon hours and money on fabric. It was very expensive.
Are we going to get to see that dress?
If you'd like, I can do that right now for you, Your Honor.
Sure.
So, this is the dress in question.
Oh.
And the dress did not look like this when I lent it to Jenna by any means.
And I made it look better, Your Honor. If anything, she should give me $2,500 simply for wearing it and making it look decent.
That is the night of her wearing the dress. She posted it to her Instagram story, and I screenshotted it. Just because I have heard things in the past about Jenna Tall being very shady and very sneaky and conniving and manipulative, and I just wanted to save my own butt on that one, so I took a screenshot to prove the dress was in perfect condition. Here is the issues with the dress. We'll start at the top and work our way down.
Yes.
So when I lent her this dress, each one of these syringes had guitar strings coming out with red paint on the end to look like blood. When I got the dress back, every single guitar string was completely missing, not one in. Don't know what happened to them, never was talked about. All of the syringes, out of about 150 I had on there, about 30 or 40 completely gone, missing, no idea what happened to them. That's just the beginning. Once you look inside the dress, you start to see that there is spray tan and contour and makeup all throughout it. And I do not wear any spray tan or contour or makeup, so I know that wasn't from me. We're not all plastic like you, darling.
Oh, okay.
So if you look down the dress a little bit, there is a random almost bruise on there. I don't even know how I would describe that. Followed by, it looks like a duct tape mark right at the top. Neither of them were on the dress. If you look underneath, this red piece...
I don't want to look underneath. Please.
We'll talk after the show. So this red piece was completely tattered. It was intact when I lent it to her. And then once we move our way all the way down to the bottom, if you look underneath, I don't know if Jenna wore shoes that were too small or what was the issue, but the entire bottom of the dress is completely destroyed. It was not like that at all. When I make a dress, I make sure it is half an inch off the ground so it just touches. How did that happen otherwise?
It's not my fault that she makes a dress too long. It drags on the floor, it gets dirty. It's a white dress. What do you expect? I mean, it's white. It's gonna obviously have some issues on the bottom of it.
you're suing her for $2,500.
Yes.
And I understand the dress is dirty on the inside and you lost some strings inside, but now the dress is back to okay again, right?
No, not
What's
at
wrong
all.
with it
Not
now?
at all. I mean, once she borrowed the dress and she returned it to me, the dress was in a full black trash bag.
I returned it to her in a black trash bag, correct. I called her, I said, I'm bringing you over the dress that I borrowed from you. It's raining outside, so I was nice enough to put it in a bag so that it would be protected because she said, oh, my boyfriend's home, he'll get it.
Your Honor, can I
So I
interrupt?
knocked on the door and nobody answered. I left it in a black bag to protect it from the rain.
Okay.
What else was I supposed to do? I was gonna let it rain on the dress because then she really would have been upset.
When I took it out of the bag, I sent her photos and said, what is wrong with this dress, Jenna? I mean, get out of here. There's clearly problems. She is still denying right now that there's anything wrong with this dress.
It was damaged when she gave it to me. I went to the gig, I wore it. People said, this is not how it looks. I actually had to take a cut in pay that night because they were so upset about the way that the dress looked. That's not what they expected out of it.
You decided she could borrow it for Halloween.
For free.
Yeah, I understand that. It would seem to me, if you loan someone a dress, particularly loan it for Halloween at a party, a reasonable person would have to expect that someone could mistakenly drop a drink on you. In other words, it isn't like you had no idea that something bad could happen to the dress when you loan it out. Even if you wore it that night, someone could have come up to you and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, my dress is, I mean, that happens to people.
It does, but I did make sure to text her and say to take care of that dress like it was your own. I made sure to text her to treat that like a baby.
She has borrowed a dress from you before.
Nothing to this level. Nothing
Yeah,
at this.
but
yes,
yeah.
yes. In the past, she
Well,
has
no,
borrowed little
because-
garments, little things like that.
Obviously, Your Honor, everything that I do is subpar to the great Estala Vista, Your Honor. So whenever I loan her anything, it's essentially nothing.
This has started to affect more than just the dress, Your Honor. I mean, we obviously are working drag queens. When we were booked at gigs together now, the dressing
Well, some
room is
of
a
us are
very
working.
hostile environment, as you can tell. It's affecting bookings because people don't want to book us together anymore, which is starting to affect my pay. So it's becoming a lot bigger than just
Well,
this
people
dress.
don't want to book me anymore, Your Honor, which is my countersue. Because after all her multiple claims and text messages and Facebook posts, nobody wants to work with me anymore over a stain on the bottom of the inside of a white dress.
You are countersuing her.
Correct.
Because of texts that she sent out to other people. Tell me what your countersuit
She
is.
defamed me. She texted multiple nightclub owners. She texted multiple of our drag friends that book other shows. She posts a Facebook status about how I'm shady and I ruined her dress and how I'm not a friend to her and how everyone better watch their back because I steal things and all this other nonsense. And honestly, it's affected my ability to work in the area because, like I said, the dress is fine. She got the dress back. I didn't steal the dress. I didn't take the dress from her. So, there's one stain on the bottom of the back of the dress. It's a white dress.
Okay,
No.
let me read the text here. Hold on.
There's
read
two
the
of
rough-
them, Your Honor. There was one to a local nightclub owner, and then another one to our personal friend and booking another
Okay,
drag
is
queen,
this
essentially.
one here where she texts, "Hey love, so Jenna big time, and honestly, I'm done with her right now. So if you could not book her on the same nights as me anymore, that would be much appreciated." And he answers, "I'm running a business. I'm not here for your drama. Squash your problems like an adult or quit the show." And then you asked, "Can I call you, please? Like she literally needs to be fired. I'm not being dramatic."
Do you see what I'm talking about, Your
Okay, I
Honor?
want to read them here. Hey girl, I'm pulling Jenna from all my future shows. Don't book her for anything anymore. Why? What happened? Long story short, you say, she borrowed a dress and destroyed it. She's come up with every excuse in the book, so I'm just trying to spread the word that the B word is crazy and a borderline thief. And then
dress is there.
the answer
You
is,
stole
wow,
time.
that's crazy. I actually work with her tomorrow. I wonder if she'll mention it. Oh, she won't, etc. So you're suing her for $2,500 because of defamation.
Correct.
First of all, I do have a little experience in this field, and some of you may not be aware of it, but I've been in drag. If we could just, you didn't know this.
I did not know that, Judge.
The late First Lady Barbara Bush is me.
Oh my God.
Damn, I'm good looking. Okay.
There was also another post that she put up on Facebook. So there wasn't only just text messages to and from personal friends, but there was an actual Facebook post that was posted about me as well.
Which was since deleted.
Again, it doesn't matter if it was deleted or not. If I have a screenshot of it, another 100 people probably do too.
You loaned her the dress.
Yes.
I do believe that things happened to the dress, so I think you've got some claim there. On the countersuit, when you're dealing in the drag community, it's a relatively small community. So your statements about her could very well affect her career. And it could even be argued that damaging the career is of more consequence than damaging a particular dress. So my recommendation to you is that you repair this friendship. You will survive a damaged dress. You will survive these emails, no matter what the intent was, because you're both talented and you're both going to be hired, and you both look better than I do in drag. Based on that, I dismiss both suits, and that's the judgment.
You know, I am going to say, coming on Judge Jerry, I thought the case ended up being a little bit of a drag, and not in a good way, but I am very happy that maybe we can mend some sort of friendship after this if Jenna Tall is up to it.
She's fake, she lies, she has always been fake, she's always been a liar, she's always been jealous of me.
Oh, Jerry is already a queen in my opinion, darling. I've already given him a drag name. We're going to call him Jerry with a G. Yes, queen.
Luwanda Cheney loaned $1,500 to her former boss. When the debt was finally down to just $500, she ghosted her. But don't underestimate this little old lady. She's here for payback. Lynnette Stribley admits borrowing $1,500 and paid back the loan as quickly as she could, even sending Luwanda a single $500 money order to settle the debt. She claims she's not responsible for missing mail.
Luwanda, you are suing Lynnette. You say she owes you $500.
Well, let me start by saying, you know, I might look like a helpless little old lady. I'm 81 years old.
Wonderful.
And I'm one of the nicest little old ladies you're ever going to meet.
Well, I'm all excited about that.
But
I'm married, but other than that...
But if you cross me, I turn into a mean son of a bitch. And that's why we're here today.
Yeah, well,
back in...
then I'll try to behave myself.
Okay. Lynnette and I were working together. She was actually my boss. She was very good boss. And I sold my house, so she knew I had a little bit of money.
Yep.
So she asked if she could borrow $1,500. And I lent her the money, and she said she would pay $100 a week. So I wrote up a legal binding contract, and she signed it, and it disappeared at work. So I didn't have it. So I started keeping track of everything by text, just in case there ever was a problem.
Sure.
I was a stockbroker in 1977 when there were no women stockbrokers.
Good for you.
So, you know, I was high school dropout, and I had 5 kids, a single parent.
Wow.
And so I went to college, I became a stockbroker, and I watch my money. I watch every penny of it. Months went by, and then finally I got the first $100. And I sent her a text saying, hey, months have gone by here and you're not paying me, you know.
Right.
And so she said she had sent me a check, never got the check. And then I told her I didn't get the check, and she said, well, maybe it'll be here in a little while. So we waited and waited, and the check didn't come. Finally, I called her up and I said, it seems like $100 a week is a little difficult for you to pay. I said, what amount could you realistically pay and make payments on time? And she said $100 a month. So we changed the agreement to that. So finally, she owed me only $500.
Okay, so she's paid back $1,000.
She's
It took
paid
her
back
some time,
$1,000.
but she paid you back $1,000.
All in cash.
And that's why you're suing for $500.
Right. And so then I sent her a text, which I have here, and I said, you still owe me $500, but if you pay me $250, then I'll forgive the other $250. And not only did I not get that money, but I didn't hear from her anymore. I don't know if she blocked me, changed her phone number, or what.
I changed my phone number and I gave it to you.
It seems pretty clear cut. She's saying that she has not been paid back the final $500. What do you have to say?
I paid her all of the money. I sent a money order for $500 to her house, and I don't know if she received it. I don't know if one of her daughters received it, but I sent the money.
Okay, when you send a money order, there's, like through Western Union, you get a receipt. Do you have that evidence that you sent the money?
I lost the receipt.
So what am I supposed to do? You admit that you owed her $1,500.
Absolutely.
She says you didn't pay the last $500. You're saying you did, but there's no...
I don't...
How would you lose it?
I think my daughter actually ate it.
Your daughter ate it?
I believe so.
What do you mean she ate it?
Well, she like licked it and did everything, and then I just threw it out, not thinking that this is where we were going to end up.
Your Honor, can I just say?
I'm stunned.
Just say.
I mean, normally I hear, you know, it's the bit about the dog ate my homework.
No.
Right. But I've never heard of my daughter ate the receipt.
You know,
Well, it was like mush, and there was no reading it, so.
you know, $500 is not a whole lot of money, and
But no,
we were good friends, and I
Yeah.
hope to remain friends. But there's three reasons that I came. The first one is the principle of the thing. You borrow money from me, you're going to pay me back one way or the other. And the second thing is that I strongly believe that if you let people slide and you don't make them face up to their responsibility, you're not doing them a favor. You're doing them an injustice. And I think she intended to pay the money, and I think she's had little trouble doing it. But when I owe somebody money, they don't have to call me.
So I'm going to have to believe that she really didn't get the money. For whatever happened, she didn't get the money. And she should get the money. And so therefore, I fine for the plaintiff in the sum of $500.
You should ask me if I want to be friends with her, because I'll be friends with her, but I'm never letting her daughter near any of my paperwork.
She's an amazing person. We had a great relationship throughout our whole work experience. We've talked afterwards. I just really don't want to lose the friendship that we do have.
People think that old people, we can't remember things, we can't do things, we don't know how to take people to court. You know, they think that we're just, I don't know why they think. I lived 81 years. You'd think I would have learned something. You know, I did learn a few things during that time.
Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. For more Judge Jerry, click here. For more Jerry Springer, click here.